Last night on Monday Night Football, it was the Jets taking on the Bills in an AFC East showdown. During the Jets' opening drive, on the fourth snap, Aaron Rodgers torn his Achilles. Today, an MRI revealed that the four-time MVP is out for the rest of the season. Now, with Rodgers gone, can the Jets survive this season? Can they make it to the playoffs? Also from week 1 in the NFL, we break down Detroit on opening night, rocking Kansas City in a stunning upset. On Sunday, Philadelphia survives the Patriots. San Francisco dominates the Steelers on the road. Miami and LA at an epic shootout for the ages. Green Bay owns Chicago for now. And on Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys absolutely destroy the Giants in a one-sided victory. Also, last week, news in the NFL came down that Joe Burrow has signed a 5-year contract with the Cincinnati Bengals. We break down the contract's details, and it is week 2 of our prediction battles as we predict every single score in the NFL. It's showtime.
From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
All right, here we go. It is a Tuesday. You know what that means? You wanted the best. When it comes to the world of sports talk, you've got the best. It is our Nation Sports Show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It is once again a Tuesday. I am Ezra, of course. It is good to be back with you all once again for another round of sports talk, as we always do on a Tuesday evening. If it is, as Eddie Truck would say, if it is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, you are listening to this show live, and we welcome your involvement. So definitely, we want to hear you guys. We definitely want to hear from you guys in the YouTube chat. Hear us out. Join us. Get your picks in later. We're going to be doing picks a little bit later today at about 8:15 p.m. Eastern, and we'll explain why in just a few minutes. But of course, follow us on the YouTube, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Don't forget also to follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Also, don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner at The Nation's Corner on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and of course, Twitter.com at Nation's Corner. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Saturdays with Montgrovian Mike, Tony Justice front row, and Deb Housen, who is currently enjoying her vacation in Ocean City. So definitely, she will not be here probably this week, maybe. We'll see. But she is on vacation and she's enjoying it. And we want to wish a happy belated birthday to our very own Deb Housen as well. Happy birthday, our friend, and we will talk to you soon. Enjoy some pro wrestling talk with them on Saturdays, and they always got some good stuff coming up from the week, so definitely check them out. Also, don't forget to follow my crew at Too Sweet Cosplay across all socials as we get prepared to kind of wind down for the year outside of any wrestling shows we may go to here between here and there. So keep an eye on our socials for that. And we'll see you all next April at C2E2. That's pretty much where it lands. All right. now that we are rocking and rolling and ready to roll, let's get everybody introduced. And this man is a special introduction, apparently. So let's welcome him. And he is my boy JT, Mr. Joey Thornton. What is up, good brother?
YouTubers, let me talk to you. We
Rocket
got
League.
another action-packed edition of our Nation Sports Show tonight. We got the coolest cats in the room. We got Steven. We got Ezra. We got Hijacker Mike coming on later to give us his picks. And of course, you got one of the coolest cats in them all. Everybody say it. JDT. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Just got my LA Knight shirt today in the mail. And I was right. And I was going to rock it tonight.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, we got Joey here, but we also got my heavy metal brother from North Carolina. This man with the rocking the Iron Maiden t-shirt tonight, rocking the drums every night, is my good friend, Mr. Stevie T, or Stevie W, Stevie Wonder, Stevie Wyand. What's up, brother?
What is going on, everybody out there? We are super excited to be here recapping the National Football League's crazy opening weekend this past Sunday, and obviously the opening game from Thursday. And yeah, with that being said, let's get this bad boy rolling.
Yes, and like you said, we're going to be doing our picks a little bit later than usual. Usually we start our picks around 8 p.m. Eastern time. But we're going to hold off until about 8:15 p.m. Eastern time because our very own Hijacker Mike will be joining us to do some picks of his own. Obviously, it won't be part of the pick battle, but he wants to join in on the fun, and he wants to hang out with us for about 30 minutes. So we'll get his picks. We'll have Kevin's picks. He's dealing with a family emergency and some family issues going on. We wish him the best and all that. So we got his picks as well, which Joey will read off as we go through our individual predictions. So it's gonna be a great show, guys, and we got a lot to talk about. Obviously we're gonna do the picks, but we got to get into the big football news, and the biggest news of the week, obviously, is what happened last night on Monday Night Football. And obviously, we know the Jets won 22-16 in overtime over the Buffalo Bills, but it came at a very, very hefty price, and unfortunately, that price is the injury to their new quarterback, former Green Bay guy, of course, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, just 4 snaps, Aaron Rodgers unfortunately went down with the leg injury, and he was taken off the field. Doctors originally said, and even the head coach said, that it did not look good, and he had a prediction that it was going to be an Achilles injury. And the MRIs today proved exactly that. Aaron Rodgers is now out for the season with a torn Achilles tendon, and unfortunately, that effectively ends his first season as a New York Jet. It puts any hopes for any sort of even remote playoff run in major jeopardy for the New York Jets organization. So, and I'll start this off by saying, as much as I give Aaron Rodgers grief, because obviously he's been my arch nemesis in Green Bay for past 15 years. You don't wish injury on anybody. You hope nobody gets severely injured. Like that's not only a season altering injury, that could also be a career altering injury. And we don't see many players come back from a torn Achilles the same. We're lucky enough to see an Edge come back from a torn Achilles in WWE after only 8 months of rehab when it should have taken him 14. We're lucky enough to have those types of moments, but even then, you're still never the same. Your mobility is never the same. And you don't want that on anybody. It doesn't matter if they're against you, for you, whatever. So as far as I'm concerned, I wish Aaron the best. I hope he gets better. I hope he does come back and play, even if it's just one more season and they call it a career. Obviously, it's just it's a horrible, horrible thing for the New York Jets organization. Stevie, you said something earlier in the chat that I kind of was. And this is nothing against what you said. You said that their playoff hopes are done. I do agree, but also you gotta look at this. Obviously, yes, they do have weapons now and all this stuff, but they got to deal with the new quarter. They got to deal with once again with another quarterback. But this could be a driving force. Sometimes the most tragic things in life can be the things that drive teams forward. Look at what happened with Damar Hamlin last year. It drove the Buffalo Bills to playoff contention. Look at what's happened in the past with all different sorts of stuff. I mean, look at the Eddie Guerrero tragedy. I mean, it even though it's storyline based, it got Rey Mysterio took that and won a world title. You look at stuff like that, and I think it could be a driving force that could propel the Jets. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything, but I'm saying they could still make a playoff run. They have the weapons to do so. They just got to get their quarterbacks in sync with the offense. And obviously, they don't have a lot of time. They don't have a lot of preparation, obviously. They've only got a week of practice of that, depending on their schedule. So I think, in my opinion, I wouldn't count the Jets out yet. Yes, are their playoff hopes in serious jeopardy? Absolutely. Is their season in jeopardy? Absolutely. But I'm not going to count them out or discredit them just yet, because it's moments like these that show the mettle of a team and show the true test of their ability to withstand moments like this and propel themselves forward to even greater heights. So.
And that's true, and I'll add to that because, you're talking about that stuff. I mean, look at the St. Louis Rams in 1999. I mean, Trent Green was the starting quarterback, but he got injured, knocked out during the preseason, and he was injured for the rest of the year. And what did Dick Vermeil say in that press conference? He said, we're going to go with Kurt Warner, and Kurt Warner will be the starting quarterback of this organization. And we will win with Kurt Warner. And they did. And they won not just their division in the NFC West that year, but they won the Super Bowl. And you're right. When it comes to tragedy in sports, sometimes adversity brings the team even closer. And maybe the Jets, don't know, because now Zach Wilson will have to take all of the studies that he has learned from Aaron Rodgers in the offseason and guide this team to as far as he can go. Because if the Jets, I don't think it personally will happen, but if it does, that will be, to me, it might be the greatest modern sports story in history, because nobody is thinking that the Jets are going to go super far now that Aaron unfortunately is lost, with the torn Achilles tendon, and to talk about that, I mean, you said it right there. I mean, as much shit as we give Rodgers, because he's dominated in this league for such a long time, we don't like to see an athlete, go down with that kind of injury. I mean, it's unfortunate, the timing. I mean, just everything about last night. I mean, 22 years ago, 9/11, the American flag, the Star-Spangled Banner, everybody in Jersey, in MetLife Stadium, filled to capacity. Both the Jets and the Bills united. Everybody coming together, remembering everybody, hashtag never forget, and everybody that was lost, unfortunately, during 9/11's attacks in New York City. And all of that, and all around the world that was lost during, the Pentagon and stuff. But everybody coming together, and the Jets are taking the field after the Bills go 3 and out, and 4 snaps later, and Rodgers is injured and no completed passes. It is completely it's wrong. Like, it is this injury should have never happened. And I know, Joey, I'll let you talk about this because I know we've talked about this in our chat, but that turf has got to be changed.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times, and I'm not going to give an exact number here, but I do know it's a lot, but think back to last year when we had all these players go down because of non-contact, or have all these players go down via non-contact injuries only to find out it was an ACL tear or a torn Achilles tendon. How many times did we see that last year? We saw it a lot. And let me see, was the reason the fact that they just slipped on the field? Maybe. Was the reason the fact that they got tackled by an invisible player? No. The reason is because of that stupid turf that NFL owners still allow on that field. And keep in mind, whenever Aaron Rodgers got sacked on that fourth play from scrimmage, by the looks of it at first, it didn't look to be that severe. But whenever they ran it back in slow motion, you can see the bone just like completely snap on Aaron Rodgers' Achilles tendon. And me watching it this morning, I could personally feel that myself. I mean, that's how bad it was. I mean, we have seen players go down so much as of late because of the AstroTurf that some owners say, oh, the AstroTurf is saved. Ain't none of our players gonna get hurt. No players are gonna get hurt at all. They ain't gonna slip on that. Look at the facts, people. We are losing these superstar players because of the turf that's out there on that field. Because they keep slipping on it, or their cleats get stuck into it to where it twists their legs around, or makes their knees buckle, or makes their knees break, etc. I mean, turf needs to be banned at all costs. Because unless they finally do something about it to remove this turf from the field, Aaron Rodgers is only gonna, or that list that, of course, now includes Aaron Rodgers out for the season, it's gonna grow exponentially once again, just like it did last season. And, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is an unbelievable talented player. I mean, yes, he's won only one Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, and that was back in 2010. But you can't deny what the man's done in his career. I mean, he's a four-time NFL MVP. One of the greatest quarterbacks to ever don the Green Bay Packers green and gold. Yeah, green and gold. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is just an unbelievable player. And for his season to go down, or for his season to be over after just 4 plays, it's just absolutely heartbreaking. And I kind of feel bad for all the Jets fans because I know they were going into the season saying, Aaron Rodgers is our new quarterback. We're going to be playoff bound for sure. Heck, skip the playoffs. We're going straight to the Super Bowl. Because not only did they bring in Aaron Rodgers, but they brought in all this offensive talent. I mean, they still got Garrett Wilson out there at receiver. They still got Breece Hall, who last night looked like he didn't even miss a beat after coming off his ACL tear from last season. They brought in Alan Lazard. They revamped that offensive line. They revamped the defense a little bit. I mean, it's just absolutely heartbreaking for the Jets to pretty much lose their playoff hopes just like that. I mean, it's unbelievable. And another example that I was talking about during the pre-show about a superstar team who got revamped during the offseason and eventually in week 1 lost their star quarterback for the whole season after a hit to his knee was none other than the New England Patriots back in 2008 when Tom Brady got hurt in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he was out for the season after that hit to his knee. But did that dampen New England's playoff hopes? No.
Nope. They almost made it, but they didn't make it, but they were vying for a playoff spot. And real quick, Joe, before you continue, and William made a great point in the chat. What's up, William, by the way? But William made a great point that Nick Foles with the Eagles in 2018 when Carson Wentz goes down with the ACL injury. And they still went on to win the Super Bowl. Now, it happened during the the rest of the season. It happened towards the end of the season, but everybody, including myself, thought that Philadelphia's chances at winning the Super Bowl went up in smoke, but they still ended up winning the Super Bowl thanks to Nick Foles. So anything's possible.
Yeah, there you go.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, another prime example. I mean, yeah, like I said, the Patriots, they didn't make the playoffs that year because of that loss to because they lost to the Miami Dolphins back in Week 17. But they came oh so close to making the playoffs with Matt Castle as their starting quarterback. So, I mean, anything can happen in the wild world of sports. I mean, the Jets may be in trouble of making the playoffs, but they're certainly not out, as Ezra mentioned earlier.
Exactly. I mean, and it just we'll have to see what happens. Can this team persevere? In the dark, in this tragedy,
Yeah, can they battle back in the face of adversity? That's what you got to look at.
Yep.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we wish the best to Air. We hope he comes back soon. If he does have one more season left in him, we wish him all the best on that. Unfortunately, some tragic news came down today. Mike Williams, the former NFL wide receiver who played for the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately died today after sustaining injuries from an accident while working at a construction site earlier this month. He passed away at only the age of 36 years old. So we send our condolences to the family, friends, and fans of Mike Williams.
Yes, I mean, just unfortunate accident, a couple weeks ago, and he was fighting for his life, and unfortunately today he lost his life. And yes, we send our condolences, our thoughts, and our prayers to his family and to his friends.
Absolutely. Let's see real quick, because we're gonna let you guys know it's not gonna be the most flowed show, because obviously it's gonna be a lot going on. Obviously, with Hijacker Mike coming on a little bit later with the picks, obviously we're gonna be jumping around a little bit, but let's go ahead and let's talk about the some of the games from this past week, since our predictions from last week already in. And there was a great slate of games. So obviously we started off with the Thursday game, which was Detroit and Kansas City, which we all thought Kansas City was going to roll in there and dominate like they usually do. But they played around with house money and it got snatched out of their hands. They played around and got punched in the mouth, and Detroit took it. And once again, Detroit playing spoiler as they always do. 21-20.
Just unbelievable how the Lions go into enemy territory in a hostile environment and absolutely took it to the champs. I mean, just they didn't give in. They're like, "Oh, you're the world champion, so what? We're here to take your crown, and we're here to show that you're mortal, you're a mortal team, and there's holes in your team's game." And boy, Chris Jones not being there was a huge contributing factor to them losing. But also as well, the biggest contributing factor is the dropped passes by wide receivers for Kansas City. I mean, good Lord, they couldn't catch a ball. Their lives were on the line during that game. Just countless drops that killed any momentum that they had in that game.
As much praise as I do want to give Detroit, and as much optimism as I have for them this upcoming season, yes, it was a big win for Detroit. I will give them that. However, I think that there was one team out there that truly beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and that was the Kansas City Chiefs. The reason I say that is because, like you said, Steven, Chris Jones technically is still on this holdout back then. Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee 2 days before the game to where he couldn't play. The drop passes that the wide receivers had, especially Kadarius Toney, and the fact that Patrick Mahomes just couldn't get anything going. So you wonder
No.
why. Yeah, I mean, you wonder why Kansas City lost this game. Well, there you go.
I
I
mean,
mean,
that drop on the 35-yard line of Detroit was brutal. I mean,
that
just
was absolutely brutal. And the fact that not once, not twice, but three times, three freaking times, Kadarius Toney had the ball in his hands and dropped it. He was
Yep.
wide open on all three plays,
yep.
and he drops it.
And I don't blame for
That
for,
I mean,
for
that
Mahomes
right
being
there
upset.
would earn you a one-way ticket to the bench. So
Oh yeah,
he's lucky he still got to play the rest of that game.
and he's lucky he's still on the team right now. I mean, just
he's lucky he's still on a team right now.
because that was not the Kadarius Toney that had a 65-yard punt return in Super Bowl 57 last year against Philadelphia.
Oh heck no,
That was
no.
not the same Kadarius Toney that caught multiple passes last year in the playoffs when it mattered the most. And
Nope.
also as well, that was not the same Sky Moore that scored in Super Bowl 57 against the Eagles. I mean,
Nope.
those wide receivers turned into freaking pumpkins, and it's not even Halloween yet. I mean, just it was horrible. I mean, and then on top of that, the second drop, I believe, yes, it was the second drop of Toney, led to Mahomes' first interception on opening night for the Chiefs season as him being the starter. Up until that point, he had 20 touchdowns and no picks.
Yeah, and something also about that first interception of the season, it was also the first pick six of
Yep.
the season.
It was.
It was also the first pick six of the season. I mean, it just goes to show that world famous saying, you never know what to expect.
Nope. And especially with the National Football League, you never know what to expect. I mean,
Nope.
and I got to hand it to Detroit's rookies in this game. They played not like rookies. They played like pros.
Yeah, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean,
Dude,
that
he's
dude
a
was dynamic.
stud. He was running all over the field. I mean, Gibbs was just he was attacking the defensive line and just getting into any spot on the field that he wanted. They couldn't contain the run. And I'm worried about this Chiefs team on defense because it ain't what it was the last couple of years. Because I mean, with Frank Clark obviously not being there anymore. I mean, Chris Jones is like the only legitimate threat that they got on defense.
Yeah. I mean, and you also can't really count out Nick Bolton, the linebacker. I mean, Nick Bolton's pretty decent.
Yeah, he is. But still, Chris Jones star-worthy.
Yeah, but now that Chris Jones is going to be able to rejoin the team in week 2, hopefully, more than likely, Travis Kelce will be able to come back. So
now I know everybody is talking about, if Travis Kelce was there, they're probably going to win that game. Yeah, that's probably true that they would have won that game, but still, you can't account to the drop receptions that receivers had for Kansas City. No excuses. You take out who's on the field and you win.
Exactly, but I do got to ask, since when did Patrick Mahomes step in front of a miniature pop laser and become a pop action figurine? Huh?
Steven, what he's talking about is in my hand, I actually have a Funko Kansas City Chiefs Patrick Mahomes Funko Pop. I got this over at my store, Meyer, actually last week.
Nice.
Yeah. I found it last week. I was hoping, I'm planning on getting the Justin Fields one from Fanatics.com this week.
Nice.
It was really cool Justin Fields one. But back to the conversation. It was an off night for the Chiefs. I mean, obviously no Travis Kelce, no Chris, this, that, the other thing. So many different things going on. Detroit has a chance to play spoil. They have a chance to take the NFC North, like we said in our predictions earlier this past month. It's a whole combination of things that obviously makes this game what it is. Detroit has a chance to make spoiler throughout any of these games, and obviously this is just one little moment here on that. So we'll see what happens. Plenty like Seth Rollins always says. There's plenty of football left.
That's right.
That's right.
As he always
That's
says.
right. But moving on from Patrick Mahomes, let's talk about another AFC quarterback that did an absolute that had an absolute choke job on Sunday.
Whoa,
And
whoa,
that
whoa,
is
whoa,
the
whoa,
man
whoa, 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 whoa! Hold on. We gotta be heartfelt to Steven's favorite team, the Carolina Panthers.
No,
Actually,
no
no,
sympathy for me.
Actually, no, that wasn't who I was talking about.
I know. I'm just saying. We gotta show some some levity and show some respect.
I know, but let's go back to actually just a few weeks ago. There was a man, or actually, should I say a quarterback, who signed a new contract extension, making him the highest paid quarterback in football history, but yet he goes out this past Sunday and plays absolutely horrible. Yes, folks, I'm talking about Mr. Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow.
Did not look
What
good.
the heck happened? What the heck happened to him on Sunday?
You know what happened? The Browns made him once again their bitch. That's what happened.
Yes.
That's the
The
problem.
Browns made him look absolutely sick.
That's the question. I mean, obviously the Browns are still have issues that they need to take care of, throughout their whole entire organization. How does a team like that though beat who many people consider one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the entire NFL, a guy who just got who got the biggest money contract in his position, who goes out there and absolutely stinks up the joint? It gets blown out by 3 scores.
And only 85 yards or 82 yards passing. Horrible.
14 of 31 for 82 yards. He was even benched in the fourth
And
quarter.
rightly so. I mean, he
benched.
laid in massive egg during that game. It was horrendous.
Good gracious. I mean, I get that some NFL quarterbacks have their struggles against certain teams, but I mean, that performance out there now makes Joe Burrow 1-4 against the Cleveland Browns since he joined the NFL. 1-4.
Crazy
I mean, you can't make this
stats.
stuff up.
He's making Joe Burrow look like Colt McCoy.
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, you would figure that any star caliber quarterback would have their struggles against, the good teams, not the horrible teams. I mean,
Exactly. I mean, keep in mind, Cleveland is not really that horrible. But,
no, they're not. But still,
but-
they're not. They're
But I
not
mean,
a
if you compare
juggernaut.
Cincinnati, I mean, if you could compare Cleveland and Cincinnati, you could definitely tell Cincinnati has the better team on paper.
Yes, on paper.
But it's just on the field. I mean, Cleveland just made them look sorry.
Just horrendous bad play by Burrow and company. That offensive line cannot keep him upright to save their lives. And that's the problem with Cincinnati. And that is why they did not win the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, I should say. They did not win. They did not get back to the Super Bowl last year against Philadelphia. Because of the offensive line. The offensive line at the worst possible times breaks down. But in retrospect, when the offensive line is minding their P's and their Q's and on their game and protecting their quarterback upright and keeping him off of his back, they protect him. He's able to stay there in the pocket and do his thing and throw his passes to Higgs. Or the Higgins and to Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon. I mean, just he's got a source of weapons to throw to, but you can't do nothing if the quarterback can't stay on his feet, and stay in the pocket. I mean, it's a proven fact. I mean, this is what has been, no pun intended. This has been Joe Burrow's Achilles heel. Is his offensive line has been the reason they have won or they have lost games.
Yep.
Bad performance. Bad day at the office. And not a great way to start the season.
Oh, definitely. I can agree with that.
Yeah, and also moving on, who would have thought that we would see Baker Mayfield be victorious in week 1 last week?
None of us had that.
No,
But
none of us.
but then again, let's just be honest here. A broken clock is right twice a day. So I mean,
True.
Yep.
broken clock is right twice a day. And Baker Mayfield can win at least one game. So there you go.
It was bound to happen.
I've seen freaking I've seen Chad Henne win games that were more exciting than what he won.
Yeah, but then again, when you went, or I can't even speak right now because I'm so mind blown. But when the quarterback on the other side of the field is supposedly the man who rules at 1 o'clock games but sucks at prime time, I mean, what do you expect?
And now, what are you going to
Kirk
get
Cousins
from the
playing like
Vikings?
Washington Redskins. Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Yes.
Not a
Yes.
good day for Captain Kirk.
Speaking of Washington, whenever we get to that, I got a few things to say.
Oh,
But
we will get to that, man. But there are a couple notes I do want to talk about. Obviously, a rough day at the office for one CJ Stroud. Unfortunately,
Oof.
it's the
Yeah.
Ravens.
yeah, I mean,
It's to be expected.
it's to be expected. But he'll have a chance to redeem himself when we'll get to the matchup that we're going to see next week,
Yep,
which we'll reveal in just a little bit.
absolutely, my
Yeah, I
man.
mean, it was a rough day at the office for CJ Stroud. I mean, shoot, it was a rough day at the office for all rookie quarterbacks.
Yes,
Not
it
just
was.
CJ Stroud, but Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young as well.
The one thing I forgot about Jacksonville was I forgot about who their starting quarterback was originally. I totally forgot that their starter was originally Trevor. I forgot that they have Trevor Lawrence, but I forgot that they lost there. I forgot that Gardner Minshew had been waived and he was at another team. It's because you remember,
I forgot about
yeah.
that as well.
because remember Gardner was the guy who helped get them to the playoffs when Trevor Lawrence got hurt.
That's right.
Good point.
Good
So-
point.
It was weird. It was weird to see him on a stat sheet on another team. I was like, what? This is the guy that helped Jacksonville shock everybody and get to the wild card round.
Yep.
Yep.
But I know, Joey, there's so many other games. Of course, we got to get into this one, and that is obviously our boy Kevin. Unfortunately, he's not here. But obviously, his 49ers put on a
Oh, that
clinic.
49.
Oh,
defense.
boy.
Oh, dear Lord.
I mean-
that defense, my gracious sakes alive.
And Brock Purdy looked pretty damn good, I must say so myself.
I mean, they dominated on all aspects of the ball. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, can you say any more?
Yes.
George
I mean,
Kittle
that dude was
absolutely,
a freaking monster.
George Kittle actually showing Cero Miedo against that team.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when he gets big plays or a touchdown when he throws up the Cero Miedo. Dude, it's so good.
Yes.
You know what also was so good was when Christian McCaffrey broke off that 65-yard touchdown. Forget about it. Just remarkable speed. Over 140 yards from scrimmage, rushing, touchdown. Run CMC is here and rocking already. I mean, they look really good.
I happened to come across this on Facebook last night, and I actually tagged Kevin in this on the chat. I said, Kevin, nobody has respect for your boys, bro. I mean, listen to these tweets. All this to lose to Kenny week 1. All this to lose to the Steelers this Sunday. Steelers are winning. Don't care. Steelers winning tomorrow. Sorry to say. TJ is the real defensive player of the year. San Fran finna get dog walled. This sorry I'll post. The Steelers are about to destroy the trash Niners on Sunday. Y'all about to see. I mean, what?
Wow.
I'll bet all these people are eating crow now because that's what they deserve.
They do.
You know what? We talked. Yeah, they should eat crow for their stupid dumbass comments. I hope you people sit in a dark room and think about what you've done.
For real.
But
Better
obviously,
yet, while they're sitting in that dark room, they need to write I will never talk trash about the 49ers again 1,000 times on a board.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But Joey,
Yeah.
but Joey, we mentioned George Kittle. We mentioned Run CMC. We got to mention Brandon Ayuk because that man was on.
Brandon IU. I mean,
He was on
dude.
fire. 8 receptions, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Unreal. I mean, just
Unreal.
double covered, and he still caught that second touchdown.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yes.
Let me say, Brock Purdy, while he didn't have the biggest stats, all that mattered was he got the job done. 2 touchdowns, 220 yards, 19 to 29. So
and also very interesting stat about Brock Purdy, and a lot of people have shared this. Brock Purdy is the first quarterback in NFL history to win his first 6 regular season games and throw 2 touchdowns in all 6 games. At least 2 touchdowns in all 6 games.
Brock Purdy making history, man. That's what.
Yes, he is.
Crazy. This young kid who came in for an injured Jimmy G. Now all of a sudden he's the starter and he's the future of this 49ers organization. And you know what?
Yep.
I'm beyond excited for Kevin. I'm beyond excited for all the Niner gang because this is absolutely the way this team is built right now. And no, it's not a manufactured team. This is a team of some of the best players on the planet. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. You have freaking Run CMC. You have George Kittle, Brock Purdy. You look at that offense alone, and it is all killer, no filler. It is like Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. It is all killer and no filler. Not counting Gangland, of course. But
That's right. And also that defense. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Hufanga, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, that 49ers defense, I mean, just the entire 49ers team in general. I mean, as long as Brock Purdy can stay healthy and as long as everybody can stay healthy, the Niners are going to be a serious threat this year.
oh, absolutely.
No question about it. So all I got to say is bang, bang, Niner gang.
Yes.
Yes. And let's talk about
that's pretty much all you can say.
Let's talk about your Commanders, Joey. 20-16 over Arizona. They got the win, but in reality, this game shouldn't have been that close.
No, it should not have. It should not have. I mean, yes, the Commanders made some very questionable plays. Yes, they made plays they shouldn't have. But at the end of the day, Sam Howell did what he had to do. Yes, he may have thrown an interception, which is normal, and yes, he may have coughed up the ball right there close to the end zone for Arizona, which led to an easy fumble recovery for a touchdown. But I mean, at this point, it don't matter if it's a struggle or if it's a blowout. A win is a win, no matter how you get it. And at the end of the day, my boys are 1-0, getting ready for next week out in the West Coast.
Yes,
That's all. That's all that matters to me.
I don't even want to talk about this next game, but I got to.
Boy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
allow me to start it off.
Yeah.
New year, same old Bears against the Packers.
Unfortunately, yes. It was embarrassing. Our offense was beyond anemic. Our defense looked absolutely suspect. Despite the strong showing that we had originally, it was all I gotta say is that this week we gotta really show something. Because if we don't, it's gonna be a long 16, 17 weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Gotta give Jordan Love props. Gotta give him props because he did well. He did great. Green Bay still sucks ass. I hope they get dropped out of the first round if they even make it to the playoffs. and that's where I'm gonna stop. Raiders picked up their first win, obviously over the Denver Broncos. Which do you really want to get into that much?
Not really, but there is one game that I would like for us to really talk about, and this
No.
was, in my opinion, the game of the week. How about the Dolphins and the Chargers?
That was a
That-
battle.
That was a battle. That
Tua
was a-
looked unbelievable in that game. I mean, and Tyreek Hill was even better.
Tyreek Hill, he's known as the cheetah for a reason. The dude is unbelievably fast.
Tua's stats: 28 of 45, 466 yards thrown, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Look at that. Freaking and here we go. Tyreek Hill, 11 catches, 215 yards on 15 targets and 2 touchdowns.
That's a hell of a stat line right there.
That is a hell of a stat line for sure.
Yep, Jalen Waddle. He also had 4 catches for 78 yards. So it's a pretty even distribution of the ball on both sides, including receiving too. Obviously, the rushing wasn't that great of a stat line, but man, Tua had a cannon this week, and he really showcased it. But we also got to give credit to, of course, Justin Herbert, who only threw 1 touchdown, but the rushing is what kept them in it. Austin Eckler, Joshua.
man.
Yep, 16 carries, 117 yards, 7.3 yards per carry. Joshua Kelly, 16 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown, and then Herbert with a rushing touchdown of his own. So even though he couldn't get the pass going as well as he usually does, he was able to get the offense, and that's even with. And you got to think that this was a team that was a playoff contender. They had great moments. And then they just, had their, like any team, had their issues that fell off. But, man, even with this loss, I'll say this much. The Chargers are off to a good start.
They are.
The offense looked great. They just made some critical mistakes down the stretch. And the other team took advantage. That's the way it works in the world of sports. Like you said, anything can happen on any given Sunday.
And to add to that as well, just the defense on the Chargers, they gotta correct the errors that they had. How is J.C. Jackson not covering Hill? That is your man that is beating you on these coverages. And on top of that, you let him get open on the last touchdown. You can't let a great talent like that get super wide open. And Tua capitalized. Crazy stats.
What the hell happened? You got attacked by a lion?
No, I had a dust bunny up my nose.
You sure that wasn't the Cowboys defensive line scaring you?
Oh no! But before we get into that annihilation,
Daniel Jones.
Before we get into that absolute annihilation, how about a team that literally won their game by exactly 1 foot, and that is 1 foot that was not in bounds. The Eagles over the Patriots, 25-20. They literally got bailed out because I think it was Kendrick Bourne did not drive that 2nd foot in bounds on that.
It was Bourne. That was crazy. And talking about that game, Philadelphia was up 16-0. 16-0, and looking like a second San Francisco domination, this time obviously over the Patriots on the road. And that
the
pick
score
six.
The score at halftime, Eagles 16, Patriots 14. And you're like, what?
Yeah. What happened here? Just
what?
the pick 6 in the first half and got 70 yards, off of Mac Jones, and got to give the Patriots credit. They rallied, they came back into the game, and then they made it the game, and then Philadelphia goes up, and then the Patriots make it interesting in the end, and they almost could have won this game. But man, I know it's only 1 game, but honestly, that is not the same Philadelphia defense that was great last year. They did not look good at all. At all.
No, they did not.
No, they didn't at all. Also, the Rams beat the Seahawks 30-13. I know you wanted to mention something about the end of Geno Magic, as we say.
Yeah, Geno Magic is pretty much over and done with.
Yeah.
He may have one more chance to redeem himself this week, but if he doesn't redeem himself this week, which chances are he might not, considering who they're playing against and where they're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
and that's they're even you got to think they're without Cooper Cup too, who we don't know if he's even going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is true. I mean, he is set to miss at least the first 4 games, but it definitely could be more.
Yeah, because that hamstring injury he's been dealing with, he's tried multiple treatments and it's not working.
Yeah, so who knows? But
But
now let's.
well, before we get into that, I do want to say this. I know we said that the Aaron Rodgers injury was the biggest news of the day in the world of sports. In reality, it's not. While it is a very big story, we will talk about it later. Maybe we'll get it in before Hijacker gets here, but we are going to talk about the biggest news that came out, which is the branding of WWE and UFC under the same banner, under Endeavor as TKO. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But obviously, we got to get to the Sunday Night Football game, which was
The absolute annihilation.
Before we begin, we gather here today to remember the New York Football Giants. Unfortunately, they were ran over, stomped, tossed, and thrown away by the Dallas Cowboys in their lethal offense. May us pray for this unfortunate tragedy. Okay, I'm done.
What a total beatdown. I mean, this game was over at 16-0.
As the great Ron Simmons once said, damn!
I mean, and what makes this even more embarrassing is the fact that Dak Prescott did not even throw a single touchdown.
Nope.
He didn't throw a single touchdown. But yet they still won 40-0.
Their kicker's leg is probably so sore you can't even do drills right now.
Oh, and speaking of kickers, that was the most hilarious thing ever. Two instances with kickers. For one, the Giants are like, "Yay, we got a good opening drive happening right now," and then, well, we're gonna kick a field goal, doink, block, and then Dallas takes it back for a touchdown, and then their kicker shanked the piss out of the damn kick. I'm like, wow. And then the beatdown slowly started to happen. I mean, just that offensive line, I must say, that offensive line for the Giants, I'm not going to overreact because it is one game, but Jesus, that offensive line was putrid in that game. I mean, they could not block Daniel Jones if their lives were on the line. I mean, the running game couldn't get going. The receivers absolutely sucked. They couldn't. I mean, and not only that, but it took like what, 9 or 10 passes or whatever to finally complete the pass to a wide receiver. I mean, it was horrible.
Here's an even more bigger mind-blowing stat. Daniel Jones threw not 1, not 2, but 3 interceptions before he completed his first pass.
Whoa. Okay. That's even more alarming.
Before he completed his first pass.
The offensive line couldn't block. He couldn't pass. He was running for his life in this game. I mean, there were times he was just running around like a maniac, just going, okay. Ah, shit. And then just flings the ball just up for grabs. And that's when the picks were coming in, and then the one interception, the second interception, that was the double whammy right there because it goes to Barkley. It gets popped up in the air, another doink. And then Dallas takes it back for a pick 6. I mean, it was just nuts. I mean, and on top of that, it was raining in MetLife Stadium. I mean, God bless all the Giants fans that had to sit there in the pouring rain and watch their team put up an absolute nugget on the scoreboard. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be like most people in the media that's going to crown the Cowboys at their one game because they allowed no points, and I'm sorry. But my biggest problem with this game is why in the world was Daniel Jones and the rest of his starters still in the game when the game was over? Give me a break. It took about 1 minute and 10 seconds in the game. Go ahead, Ez.
You should have just pulled him. Simple as that.
Hell, you could have pulled him after halftime.
Yep.
It
That's
was
what I would've
over.
done. But outside of that,
You know
man,
what? Scratch that real quick. Jones threw 2 interceptions, but he had 3 turnovers before he completed his first pass.
Yeah.
Scratch that.
okay.
But still,
Yeah, still.
Yeah, bad.
Still, Dallas offense, despite not throwing any touchdowns, they did great in the running game. Tony Pollard had a field day. You know, we could go on and on about this game and how good, you know, this and that. Obviously, we're not going to go to the predictions right away because we got about 20 minutes until Hijacker Mike joins us. Of course, our buddy, the man who produces the music for our show, our intro, Nation Night Fights. He is going to give it a little boxing news as well with the time he has. Obviously, he's only got about 30 minutes today as he's got other work to do. But I do want to
of
get...
course, hang on, Ezra, real quick. I just want to point out one thing.
Okay,
CD
go ahead,
Lamb
man.
was actually able to CD ball.
Yes, he was.
Ah, that's right.
But Joey, I do want to get into something real quick with you. And I want to talk about something that involves your Atlanta Braves. And that is that your boy, Matt Olson, has hit his 51st home run of the season, tying Andrew Jones for the Braves franchise record.
And see, and that is just, I mean, and he is just one small minor piece to our monstrous Atlanta Braves organization this year. You got an amazing pitcher in Spencer Strider who is striking out batters before they can even blink an eye, seems like. You got Austin Riley, who is an absolute power hitter. You got the amazing field play of Ozzy Albies, whether he's in the field or whether he's at bat. I mean, of course, you got Matt Olson absolutely slinging the ball over the walls in left, center, and right field. And of course, you can't forget about the National League MVP frontrunner, Ronald Acuna Jr. I mean, the dude has over 30 home runs and over 60 stolen bases. I mean, those kind of stats are... I mean, you don't see those kind of stats in an actual Major League Baseball season. So, I mean, at this point, the Braves, I believe, are only 6 wins away from having their second consecutive 100-win season. And we still got 2.5 weeks to go, almost 3 weeks to go in the regular season. I mean, come on, man. The Braves are the team to beat right now. And I hope it stays that way, making another trip to possibly the World Series.
Absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Joey. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was done.
Okay, well, let's get into it real quick before Hijacker Mike comes on, and that is the biggest possible sports news of today, and that is that earlier today in front of the New York Stock Exchange, the official bond, the official merging of WWE and UFC under the new brand TKO was officially put together by Endeavor for the New York Stock Exchange. And what a moment it was, because you had on one side, you had there representing the WWE, you had Triple H, you had Bianca Belair, Montez Ford, and Vince McMahon himself. And then on the other side, you had I believe his name is Ryan Emanuel or something like that, who is the leader of Endeavor, the parent company that bought WWE and put him under that merger. And then the wildest thing was seeing Triple H shaking hands with UFC president Dana White, which is going to be interesting because now WWE and UFC are officially under this new banner called TKO, which is a company that now houses both. And they played a video showing clips of both WWE and UFC stars in their grandest moments. It's a very interesting, game-changing thing because this is, like you said, even though it's not that big of a deal, this is the first time that a McMahon will not have full control in WWE in over 50 years. And it's insane to think about that while Vince will still be on the board of directors and he has an 18% control of the company, Ryan Emanuel will still be will be the head honcho. Nick Khan will still be WWE's president, and of course Triple H will be still head of creative and will report all creative decisions to Nick Khan. But this is crazy to think about that the biggest pro wrestling conglomerate in the world and the biggest MMA conglomerate are both officially now under the same roof. It's incredible.
It's crazy to even think that this is even happening right now, because who would have thought that, 25, even 30 years ago, when the Ultimate Fighting Championship was started in 93, with Hoist Gracie, winning the first couple of tournaments, and such stars over the years as Ken Shamrock and Danny B. Severin and Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture, and, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, just, all the great fighters that have come into the octagon that have fought over the years, it's incredible how even the WWF at that time, they did not acknowledge UFC, until really Ken Shamrock was involved with the WWF in 97, 98. And obviously when Dan DeBeast was there, they acknowledged that he was a fighter, in the UFC. But they didn't really go into the full details, that Shamrock and Severin fought, in the 90s and stuff. And then obviously in the go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Steven, I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of crossover per se. I don't know if they're gonna be mentioning each other on air, even though they are under the same umbrella. I doubt they will. I think they're gonna try and maybe keep the world separate. Maybe they'll do something collaborative in the future, but I don't know if it's gonna be that way. Obviously, they mentioned UFC because of ties with guys like Shamrock, Dan the Beast Severin, Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Those
they
people
acknowledge their existence now, and rightly so. I mean,
And you can't forget about Shayna Baszler either.
Yep, and Shayna Baszler, good call.
Yep.
And just MMA and pro wrestling has crossed over, and it's crossed over permanently because now both companies have merged. And just think all the great stars in both companies. Who would have thought that these two entities would come together under one roof? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the times have definitely evolved when it comes to professional wrestling and mixed martial arts.
Well, here's the thing also, too. You got to think MMA has become a lot more like pro wrestling than a lot of people realize.
Yep.
Because of the spectacle, because of the entertainment, and because of these guys. A lot of these guys put on fronts and characters like pro wrestlers do with gimmicks.
Daniel Cormier.
Look at Conor McGregor. This guy who comes out there cutting promos and trash talking people like he is LA Knight, like he is freaking whoever he thinks he is, whoever he thinks Grayson Waller. You got think in the past even Jason Mayhem Miller, who used to come out with dancing girls and wearing Slipknot masks. And then you look at people like, you look at Tito Ortiz, who had the American flag with the Mexican flag in the background and came out with, all that, the Punishment Athletics. You look at these guys who all had gimmicks and characters, even in their own stuff. Colby Covington.
Yes.
Jorge Masvidal, who was in AEW for a short time. You look at Paige Van Zandt. You look at these people who are characters. They're characters in their own organizations. And you got to think, a lot of people don't realize that people in MMA may shit out pro wrestling because it's quote unquote fake, scripted, choreographed, but there's a lot of similarities. The characters, even some of the stories, because you got to look at some of these fights that go 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. You got trilogies. You got these long-term fights that come together, whether it be, even back in the day, a Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, or a Matt
Chuck
Hughes,
Liddell, Randy Couture.
George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, or even more modern day stuff, like a Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz.
And Diaz, yep.
So there's a lot more similarities in between MMA and pro wrestling than a lot of people realize.
And then even also as well, and this as well, Ezra, but even like at UFC 60 back in 2006 when Hoist Gracie returned to the UFC as like a special attraction in the main event. And that's what the WWE has done over the years. They have used certain wrestlers to do special appearances to hype up pay-per-view buys and stuff like that, or in this case now, subscriptions with Peacock.
And there's a name I even forgot that we should mention. Talk about pro wrestling and that MMA or MMA to pro wrestling. One of the first guys to ever do it, not in WWE, but on an international stage, Josh Barnett.
Yes.
The youngest UFC champion of all time. A guy who went to Japan and became the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Great call. I mean, and Barnett he's crossed over into both worlds, and he's done both worlds. He can do both worlds. Yes, Bloodsport. And again, Bloodsport, like you mentioned before, Bloodsport is basically MMA and pro wrestling combined into one thing, and it's great. I mean, these Bloodsport events with Barnett that he's put on some great cards, and including that match that he had with Moxley. That fight was just badass. I mean, a couple years ago, that was great.
I'm sorry, Joey, we're talking so much. I want to include you in this.
Okay. It's all good.
Joey, the floor's yours, man.
I want to say, who can forget when Daniel Cormier was the special guest referee for Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins inside the fight pit last year?
That's right. Good call.
Also the return, and also the last return of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, but yes, definitely. Joey, do you have any thoughts on the merger?
I mean, this is obviously gonna take some getting used to because, I mean, like you mentioned, WWE has been under a name of McMahon for over 50 years. So now that nobody from the McMahon family is a majority owner, it just makes me wonder what's going to happen when this whole merger is now that it's officially in place. I wonder what's actually going to happen. I mean, like you mentioned, Ezra, I honestly don't see UFC and WWE doing much of anything on their respective shows. I don't really see much of it. I mean, it might come out every so often or every now and then, but I think it's still going to be like the same old WWE, the same old UFC. It's just going to be under new ownership. I mean, I don't really think anything's going to change.
But I'll pose this: what if the UFC lets Bruce Buffer, the legendary ring announcer, or Octagon announcer, excuse me. What if they let Bruce Buffer, the legendary and the voice of the Octagon, come out there and do a special main event thing?
Imagine if they did a switch. Imagine if Bruce Buffer got to call a match in WWE, and Samantha Irvin, who has been killing it.
Yes.
Gets to do a UFC fight.
That would be unbelievable. I mean, that would be really cool because Samantha has been killing it on the main roster. I mean, she is the most unique announcer probably since Howard Finkel, the legendary Think himself. I mean, Howard had that distinctive voice that drew you in, and Samantha has that voice. She has that swagger, that way she enunciates the wrestlers, and she enunciates their city, their state, their weight, and stuff like that. And just how she creatively comes up with the way she says some of the wrestlers' names, like Chelsea Green. It's just, it's so sexy, so badass. Really cool.
And who can forget all the times that whenever they come out, she's like, introducing, representing Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci. I mean, it's like, whoa.
She's so good at that. So good
at that.
Yes.
And then, oh man, that would be awesome. Just thinking about that. The legendary voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer, or Samantha, crossing over together in different realms, within both companies to do stuff like that, because that would be super cool, and then you could even have Joe Rogan come out there and call it, one of those WWE style pit fights. That would be cool.
You could.
You never know. Like, times have changed, and I love it. I love it that MMA and professional wrestling have finally crossed over together.
Absolutely. And one last thing I think we should need to bring up before Hijacker Mike joins in the next few minutes. how about, seeing as how we've been talking about UFC, how about one of the biggest upsets that we saw from over the weekend?
Yep,
Shane
Sean
Strickland upsetting Israel Adesanya.
Yep,
I mean,
Sean.
that was unbelievable.
Yeah, Sean Strickland, man, he was able to take that title from the style bender who seemed unstoppable, but Sean was able to get it and is now the new UFC, I believe it is middleweight champion.
Yes, it's a middleweight champion, and what a total domination by Strickland. I mean, he took it to the champion and just dominated. He had no answer at all for Strickland's, attacking. Just congratulations to the new middleweight champion Sean Strickland.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hijacker is going to be joining us in just about 4 minutes.
But I do, real quick, Ezra, I do want to bring up, talking about, last night's Monday night game. I mean, Josh Allen, this needs to be said. And a lot of the media people haven't been talking about this really, because Rodgers' injury is the biggest news story from this week in the NFL. But Josh Allen's turnover woes continue. 3 interceptions, a lost fumble, only 1 touchdown. Just unbelievable how he continues to make boneheaded mistakes.
Oh. Hold on, Steven.
Yeah?
Steven, did you say bonehead?
Yes, I did.
Did you really? You said bonehead. You said bonehead mistakes, huh?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's the perfect time for this. Here.
Austin as well. It wasn't. I didn't got all-time bonehead play.
Oh, yes.
Yep. If you were to look up all-time bonehead plays,
you would see Josh Allen in the front.
Thank you. Not only Ace Ventura, but thank you to Claudio Castagnoli. But I do agree the turnover woes are ridiculous, and he needs to get that under control.
Because if the Bills are going to go far, they're going to have to clean up those mistakes.
The 3 interceptions that he threw were to the same guy.
Yep, and shout outs to one of my favorite YouTubers, Urinating Tree. He posted all the Bills stats from that game, all the receptions and ODs and all that stuff. Then he puts Whitehead, 3 receptions. I'm like, wow.
And also real quick, I want to say this. Neil Benedict, if you're watching this, you're an asshole. Because he sent me a Rickroll video through TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah. By the way, just to let you know your Cowboys got lucky.
They are who they thought we were.
I had to do that. I guess while we're still waiting on Hijacker to join us, real quick, I do want to mention tonight, because even though this isn't Nation's Quarter, we don't talk about wrestling matches because we want to keep it sports related, obviously. But tonight's a big night on NXT because tonight Tiffany Stratton defends her NXT Women's title against the man, Becky Lynch. And what is this silly
That's going to be the main event of tonight's show.
Yes, it is. So if you got it on USA Network, watch it, man. It's gonna be a great match between this young, brash, bottle blonde taking on the fiery redhead who's
right.
creating her own legacy. So,
but there is one thing that I think we can bring up right before Hijacker Mike joins us here in the next couple minutes.
What's up?
That is the fact that history was made in a sport that we typically don't really talk very much about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you know exactly where I'm going with this. I want to give a huge shout out and a huge congratulations to one Miss Coco Gauff for winning her very first major championship this past Sunday, and on American soil for that matter, the U.S. Open. Congratulations, Coco Gauff. You deserved it, girl.
That's awesome.
Also, a big congratulations goes out to Novak Djokovic, who won his 24th Grand Slam championship and celebrated it with a special shirt dedicating the win to not only himself, but to his buddy, Kobe Bryant.
Hell
Yes.
yeah. That's awesome.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
he's one of the best guys to play the great sport of tennis. I mean, just he is a constant winner.
Yes, and obviously we don't cover a lot of tennis on this show, but it was a very special moment for Novak, who was, I guess, knew Kobe a little bit, and he put on this special shirt that had the number 24 on it and had pictures of him and Kobe
Love
on
it.
and he
Love
dedicated the win to Kobe and his daughter, and so it was a great moment for Novak Djokovic, who definitely he's one of the best tennis players of all time, without
Oh yeah. I mean, he's definitely up there with the likes of your Roger Federers, your Pete Sampras, your Andre Agassi's, um your Jimmy Connors, your Arthur Ashes. I mean, he's definitely up there.
Oh, dude, we got to get into some big news coming out of the world of the NBA, and this is huge. And that is that Otto Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. He is in severe trouble. He pled not guilty to felony assault and strangulation charges in an incident Monday at the Millennium Hilton near the United Nations in Manhattan, where he supposedly left his girlfriend with a fractured neck vertebra and a cut above her right eye.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And he's been released.
Very huge to talk about.
He was not required to enter a plea. So
Yeah, and also real quick, other big news that just broke as of earlier today. Plans are now set in stone for a brand new arena that's going to be owned by the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's going to start construction very soon.
it's kind of funny. The Oklahoma City Thunder gets an arena, but the fucking Chicago Bears can't get one.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm looking. Hang on, I'm fixing to pull up the article right now before Hijacker Mike gets on. If the ESPN app will come on.
Real quick, while you're waiting, Spurs have waived veteran point guard Cameron Payne.
Which I honestly saw that one coming because, yeah, even though the Spurs are going to be a little bit of a better team this year with the acquisition of one Victor Wembanyama in the NBA draft, I still think the Spurs are about a year, maybe 2 years away from being a serious contender. So them waiving Cameron Payne gives him the chance to actually go to a team that could actually use him and can actually benefit from his play.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's have you gotten your article to load up yet?
Hang on, I had to restart the app.
Of course, the ESPN app is a piece of garbage, but whatever.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. But Steven, while we're waiting, real quick, what kind of I know this is off topic, but I know you're going to the upcoming Aerosmith gig, right?
Yes, I will actually be going to the Charlotte one since the unfortunately the news came down yesterday that Steven Tyler's vocal cords were damaged during Saturday's gig in Long Island, New York. Huh? So the next shows that were damaged, the next 6 shows that were in the next 30 days had to be unfortunately postponed. But the good news is that as long as everything goes good, the tour will kick back up in October on the 11th in Tampa, with the Black Crowes obviously supporting, and I will be going to the Charlotte show. I will be getting tickets to that because that way, it sucks that the Raleigh date got postponed, but stuff like that happens. There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hey, here he comes.
Joining us right now from of course, our boy from Nation Night Fights, the man who's got his own little show called Smoking in the Bay, which you can check out on YouTube. Please welcome our good man, Hijacker Mike. What's up, brother?
What is up, Hijacker?
What's happening, y'all? What's good?
Not much, man. Just doing the show, doing it live.
Dude, man, we covered a lot, man. We covered, of course, the news of Aaron Rodgers' injury. We talked about the recent games for this past week. We covered the UFC WWE merger. We talked about some NBA news. But hey, man, I know you got limited time. So you know what? Let's get into it. We got some predictions to do, and I'm glad you could join us this week for that, man. We appreciate your time.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
of
glad.
course.
Glad I can join y'all too. I do not have any boxing news. I haven't been up on boxing for the last couple of weeks. Been a little busy trying to take care of some stuff, but I will jump in with you guys for some week 2 predictions on some NFL.
Okay. Really, I didn't really see any boxing news except that one of the big, I'll say this much real quick, is that Greg Serb, who has been with the Pennsylvania Boxing Commission for 33 years, has announced that he is retiring.
Okay.
That's just one piece of news in the world of boxing. There hasn't been much. It's been, from what I could see, relatively quiet. But
Yeah.
let's get right into the predictions.
Oh, but hang on, real quick. I had to drop who won our prediction battle from the.
I thought you
from the
said you were. I thought you said you weren't going to do that until.
Well, I'm still going to give out who won each week, but I'm not going to give the overall records until.
Go ahead.
All right, so yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep this real quick. I actually won the prediction battle last week. I went 9-7 last week. Steven and Ezra both went 8-8, and Kevin, his defense is not starting off so good. He went 7-9.
Hey, it's just like the Giants. First game.
Dick.
Damn.
Too soon? Yeah.
What a dick.
Soon.
All right, let's get it going, and we got to start it off Thursday night. We got to start it off with our Thursday night game. Joey, why don't you tell us our Thursday night game?
All right, our Thursday night game is going to feature Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings going into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles.
I'm going to get this one started. I do not trust Captain Kirk in prime time. That's why I'm picking the Eagles to beat the Vikings. I'm going to go 24-14.
Captain Zog, I have no idea how to throw a football.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go next with Kevin's pick.
Okay.
Kevin is picking the Eagles over the Vikings, 31-10. I'm actually going to go a little bit along that same trajectory. I'm going to go 34-14 Eagles.
I'm going 31-17 Eagles.
All right.
And I got 35-10 Eagles.
What's your score? What's your score, Mike?
35 Eagles, 10 Vikings.
Okay, and William has the Eagles 20-10.
Okay. Next game is the Green Bay Packers going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons.
Okay, this game's pretty tricky because I mean,
yeah, this game can be pretty tricky.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay. I'm gonna go Green Bay. Green Bay 24, Falcons 20.
Okay. Kevin is actually going about that same trajectory, but he's flipping the script. He's going Falcons 24, Packers 21.
Okay. Not bad.
I think I'm actually going to agree with Kevin on this one. I'm going Atlanta. I think it's going to be very close. I'm going to go Atlanta 27-23.
I'm going to flip the script on y'all. Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay. I'm going to go Green Bay 28-24.
Okay. Jackie, you get to break the tie here.
All right. I am going with the Dirty Bird, 21-17 over Green Bay this week.
Okay.
And William has Green Bay 21-14.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, the Raiders heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Oh boy.
This is where, at least for this upcoming week, the Josh Allen Redemption Tour will start up. Give me the Bills in this one. I'm gonna go 34-18.
Okay.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm going to go Buffalo 34-21.
Okay.
Buffalo, it's around the same score. I'm going to go Buffalo 30. I'm gonna go 31 to 17.
All right, and Kevin's got a close one here. He's got the Bills 28, Raiders 24.
And William has the Bills 31 to 20.
All right, hijacker.
And I have the Bills 35 to 10.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Hoping out of like a 34 to 7 or some shit like that.
I'd prefer to see a 42-0, but let's keep rolling.
No, it's not going to be like the
They're not the
Giants.
Well, they might be this week.
Okay, next up, it is the Ravens going to the jungle to take on the Bengals.
Oh my God, this game is so hard to predict.
Yeah,
God.
this one's going to be very tricky.
Oh my goodness.
Kevin's actually picking the Ravens to win this one on the road, 24 to 17.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
This one's going to be tough,
This
man.
sucks.
Oh, this sucks. Why do you got to do this to us?
You know, I'll go ahead and take the reins on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think Joe Burrow is going to struggle a second week in a row because he is Joe Cool still, even though he had a very frozen performance in week 1. Disney reference, by the way. But I think the Ravens are going to give them a dogfight, but in the end, I'm going to give the edge to Cincinnati on a game-winning field goal, 27 to 26.
I like that score. I'm going to go a little similar. I'm going to go 27 to 24, Cincinnati.
28 to 20.
All right.
28 to 24, Cincinnati.
Let's see. And William
All right.
bounce
Hijacker?
back for more. Oh, look at that. Same score as Ezra, 28-24.
Nice.
Bengals.
Okay.
Well, if Burrow didn't lay that goose egg last week, even though he got 3 points, but this was going to be my game of the week if he didn't struggle so much last week. But I'm going with Baltimore, 24 to 10.
Ooh, look at that.
Whoa.
Confidence.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow.
I like it.
Next one. Seahawks heading to the Motor City to take on the Lions at 4 p.m.
I'm starting this one. Detroit Rock City, baby. I'm going with the Lions to roar over Seattle. I'm going 30 to 17.
Let's see. Kevin, even though he didn't use these exact words, I literally did not catch this until we were already off the show last week. So I'm going to say it this week. He's going the Lions over the She-Hawks.
Seahawks.
34 to 13.
Lions over the Sea Chickens 34 to 10.
All right, I'm going to go Lions 38, Seattle 13.
Ow! No mercy.
No mercy. Geno Magic is dead.
Man. Well, after that performance on Thursday night last week, Lions will win this one 17 to 10 over the Sea Chickens.
Okay. Oh, great. Now we got Hijacker calling them Sea Chickens. It's over now.
Williams got the Lions winning 31 to 17.
All right. Next game is the Colts going to Houston to take on the Texans.
The matchup of first-round quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and C.J. Stroud.
I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to give this. You know what? I know they struggled last week, but I'm going to live on the edge. I'm going to give this one to Houston.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Houston 17-16.
All right. Kevin is actually going Houston as well. He is going 24-23.
Ooh. You know what?
Okay.
You know what?
Upset.
Yeah.
If you want to call it an upset, I'm going to go with the Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts in the close one. I'm going to go 19-17.
Okay.
All right.
And
I'm
I'm gonna have the smash here. Colts 28, Texans 3.
Whoa.
Oh God.
If you're watching this, Brian, we apologize in advance.
And if Matt Ryan was somehow watching this, we're sorry, but we're not sorry. 28-3 is your legacy, and you know it.
Go back to
Yeah,
doing Wendy's commercials.
Yeah, but
Take a
I'm
burger,
actually gonna
please,
go
with
the
bacon.
Texans on this one. I actually
Bacon.
think the Texans might actually get the job done. So I'm actually gonna go, and Steven, you're probably gonna like this score: 25-21.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I like that. It's a little odd. I like it.
All right. Next one. The Chiefs they're gonna head to TIAA Bank Field to take on Jacksonville.
Yeah. If Patrick Mahomes goes back to being Patrick Mahomes, if Travis Kelce is back on the field, Chris Jones picks up where he left off, I don't see the Chiefs losing the back-to-back games. So I think it's going to be close because the Jaguars are definitely not a pushover anymore.
Real quick, Williams got the Texans 20-17.
Okay. All right, but I got the Chiefs in this one. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go 31-23 Chiefs.
For me, I'm gonna go the Chiefs 27. Tony Montana's Jacksonville Jaguars.
Tony Montana.
20. 27-20.
Oh, that was perfect.
I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs rebounding from last week, 21-14.
I got Kansas City winning in a close one. I'm going to go field goal, 23-20.
All right, and Kevin's got the Chiefs 34-21.
All right. Next, it is my Chicago Bears going to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I've still got to roll with my boys. I can't. It's like Seth Rollins. I'm loyal to the Bears to a fault. So I'm gonna go Chicago. I'm gonna go Chicago 24-20. 24-20 over Tampa Bay.
And Williams got the Chiefs 30-10.
Oh, he's at 30-10 the Chiefs? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Well, I'm going to go to Ghost of Tom Brady, 17-10.
All right, Ezra, I'm sorry, man. After what I saw from the Bears last week, I don't think they're going to be able to take this one from the Bucks. I think it's going to be close, though. I'm going to go the Bucks 20-14.
I'm hoping Baker Mayfield just Baker Mayfields.
That's possible. I'm going to go with the Bucks in the close one. I'm going to go 20-17.
Okay.
All right, and Kevin is picking the Bears over the Bucks 21-20.
Whoa.
Same score.
Oh.
There you go.
He must have
Finally,
cheated
some
and read
support
your
for the
sheet.
Blues.
He
Finally,
cheated and read your sheet behind your back, brother. He
Look
read
at
your
that.
sheet.
Williams got the Bears 17-14.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Split down the hat. I love it.
All right. Next game is the Chargers going to good old LP Field. Going to Nissan Stadium
going to take
now,
on the Tidy Whiteys.
taking on the Tennessee Titans in Nashville.
I
I
gotta go Chargers in this one.
Uh-huh.
I gotta go Chargers in this one. I think this is gonna be the week that Justin Herbert redeems himself. Not that he had a bad game last week, because he definitely didn't. But the only thing that could have been better for the Chargers last week would be, of course, a win, which they're gonna get that this week. So give me the Chargers in this one. I'm gonna go 26-16. Chargers.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. I'm going to go Chargers 22 to 16.
All right.
Charger.
Kevin has the Chargers over the Titans 30-14.
Oof.
I'm going. As much as I consider Nashville kind of my second home, I gotta go with the Chargers. I gotta go 28-14.
And William has the Bolts, as they called him in San Diego. He has the Bolts winning in this game. He's got 24-10.
Okay.
All right, hijacker.
And they are still the San Diego Superchargers on mine, but I got LA Chargers 24, the Titans 14.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Next game, which is the first 405 game of the week. It is going to be the New York Football Ghosts, Giants, taking on the Arizona Cards. The Arizona COD Call of Duties. Cardinals.
Well, let me jump on this one first. This is my garbage game of the week. But I do see my center fielder, who is quarterback for the Cardinals, winning 21-10 in this game. I do see the scoreless, touchdownless Giants do get 10 points this game. So 21-10 Cardinals.
I'm going with the Cards. I'm going with the Cards. I'm going to go with the Cards. 17-14. Kyler Murray will finally take a break from Call of Duty to finally win a game.
Now he's going to play center field in Oakland the last game of the season in Oakland.
Actually, no, Kyler Murray's on the PUP list, so he can't play in this game.
Yeah. Oh shit!
Well,
he's in Oakland. He's in Oakland.
Well, that's also because he downloaded the new COD.
That's true.
Did he slip on the case he left on the floor?
I think so. And I think Kyler Murray's going to be out for at least the first half of the season, if not more, actually.
Well, we need a center fielder in Oakland.
How come I'm wearing a Sell the Team shirt? # Sell the Team.
Hey, we'll give him a cardinal color too. We'll give him the cardinal red.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
I'm actually going to go with the Giants in this one.
Look at the trend.
I'm going to go Giants 16, Cardinals 10.
You know what? I kind of like that score. I'm going to go with the Giants because there's just no way. You can't lose to these to the Cardinals. I'm sorry. 17-13.
All right, and Kevin is saying the Giants over the Cardinals 17-14.
Look at that. Almost similar to my score. Nice. Let's see.
William say anything?
Looking. Nope, not yet.
Okay. All right, let's just move
on. Oh, look at that. 3-0. Cardinals.
Garbage game of the week.
Wow.
Mike was right. It is the garbage game of the week.
3-0. I'm bringing Houston Astros trash cans out for this one.
Oh, you're gonna bang on a can all day? You're gonna bang on a can all day. You know what? I hope them cans sound like the St. Anger snare drum. Jesus.
Well, we're putting a New York Giants and an Arizona Cardinals logo over the Houston logo for this weekend only.
They're gonna be non-existent like Jason Newsted's bass tracks on Injustice for All.
In the words for this game is gonna be a dumpster fire.
Yes. Next game is gonna be a battle. 49ers and the Rams at SoFi Stadium.
This game is actually tough to call because considering how LA looked last week,
but even with that, Kevin is showing no mercy here. He's going the 49ers over the Rams 34-10.
Oof. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Niners in this one. I'm gonna go the Niners 27-13.
30,
I'm going to go
31,
the
31,
Niners in
20.
this one. I'm going to go 30-9.
Ooh.
31-20, 49ers over the Rams.
Well, this one is one of my games of the week. I'm going, unfortunately, with the Santa Clara 49ers, 30-24. People got to understand,
And-
they're not in San Francisco anymore. They're 50 miles away, brother.
That's right. And also, William has the Niners 24-10.
Okay. All right, next game. The Jets are going to AT&T Stadium to face off the Dallas Cowboys.
Warning, ass kicking alert. Ass kicking alert. We have a warning of the level 3 ass whipping of the lifetime. I got Dallas winning this game 30-13. Sorry, Jets.
I gotta go with the Cow Turds. I'm sorry, the Cowgirls. Oh, dang it! I gotta go with the Cowboys in this one. I gotta go. I'm gonna go to 31-7. Sorry, Jets. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys. I'll go with the Cowboys. They're going to stomp the New York Jets this week, unfortunately. I'm going to go 34.
Whoa!
I'm going to go 34-13.
Upset special for William. Jets.
No, he does not.
21-14.
Wow.
I see the Jets playing hard for their lost quarterback, but Cowboys come out with the victory, 28-17.
Ooh, good
Okay.
score.
All right, and Kevin is going the Cowboys over the Jets 20-7. With a side note, different game if Rodgers wasn't hurt, and I actually kind of have to agree.
I agree with
I
that.
agree with that, yep. Next game is Joey's Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos at Mile High.
This one's gonna be tough.
It
Yeah.
is.
Give me right now the Commanders 21, Broncos 18.
I got the Broncos 17-10.
Okay.
All right, Kevin has the Broncos over the Commanders 23-21. With another side note, only because West Coast game.
Huh.
And you're mile high, too, so that oxygen is a little low.
Yeah, even though I am a Commanders fan, my gut is saying to go with Denver, so I'm going to go with Denver in this one. I'm going to go Broncos 24, Commanders 20.
I'm going to go to a similar score to that. I'm going to go the Broncos in this one. I'm going to go 23-20.
Okay.
All right.
All right. While we wait on Williams' score, next game is the Sunday Night Football game, and that is the Dolphins and the Pats in New England.
All right, Kevin is saying the Dolphins. And
I'm sorry.
oh, what
This
did
is
Williams
great.
say?
They called him the Senators.
What did Williams say?
24-20, the Senators. Love it.
Come on, man.
Little old baseball there, huh?
Hey, at least he copied my score.
He did.
I'm going.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
The
yeah,
Senators.
Kevin
I
has
love
the
it.
Dolphins winning 29-24.
Oh, look at that odd score. Nice.
31,
Yeah.
31-23, Dolphins over the Pats.
Give me the Dolphins. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I'm going to go 31-24.
Okay.
Gotcha. I got the Dolphins 31, Patriots 21.
Okay.
All right. My score is going to be very close to yours, Hijacker. I'm going Dolphins 31, New England 22.
Ooh, a little
Maybe.
odd.
A little safety in there?
Yep. Either that or 5 field goals and a touchdown.
All right. Next game on the list is one of two Monday Night Football games. This one is, well, both are actually shit shows. Saints and the Panthers.
God.
Give me
Yeah.
give me the Saints. Give me the Saints 14, the Panthers 6.
Give me the Saints in this one.
Oh God.
Give me the Saints to beat this team, this so-called team. I'm going to go with the Saints. I'm feeling really odd right now. Fuck it. 18-10.
You are odd.
Come on, Steven. Steven, how can you pick against your favorite team? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Don't put that evil on me.
You know what? I'm actually feeling
sorry.
a little
Real quick.
myself.
30. Yeah, Williams got the Dolphins 30-21. Oh, almost same score as Hijacker. 30-21, Miami.
Okay.
Go ahead,
All
sorry.
right. Yeah, I'm feeling very odd myself, and Steven, I think you're gonna get a kick out of this one. 16-12.
Whoa. And speaking of whoa, how about Williams got the Aints 21-20? Love it.
Yep, 16-12 Saints.
All right. And then the final
Hijacker.
Oh, Hijacker, yes.
Oh.
Go ahead, bud.
Yeah. Who that? 24 Saints, 13 Panthers.
All right. And
Yeah.
then the final game, the two Monday Night Football games, game number 2, Browns and the Steelers.
Oof, this one's going to be tough.
It's in Pittsburgh.
You know,
Yeah, buddy. Cleveland's going to keep rolling. 17-14, my pick.
Confident.
I'm going Cleveland in this one. I'm going 20-10.
21-13 Cleveland over Pittsburgh.
All right, Steven.
I'm going to go Cleveland in this one. I'm going to go 20-16.
All right, and Kevin is going the Browns 27-23, and for the previous game, he's going Saints over the Panthers 20-16.
Okay.
Same score as my
Browns Steelers game.
Brown Steelers game. Nice. And of course, William has to throw the old references that Randy, his son, and we have used. He's got the Clowns over the Squealers, 24-17.
All right.
That will conclude
That's
week
it.
2.
All right, y'all. I got to skate. I got to get into the job. And
that was
do a
perfect
little
timing,
JOB.
dude.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
As always, thank you for joining me, and everybody keep on the lookout. Which today I was supposed to release a Cuban cigar on my show, Smoking the Bay, the Cuban Partagas Lusitania, which I will be releasing tonight because unfortunately when I was editing the video, the last 3 minutes got cut. So that'll be out and about later on tonight on Smoking the Bay on my YouTube channel. Everybody, appreciate you. Hijacker Mike has got a roll.
Hashtag
Thank
sell
you.
the team.
Sell the goddamn team.
Yes.
That is
Absolutely.
correct.
All right, Hijacker. Peace out,
Thanks for
bro.
joining us, man. Thank you as
All right,
always.
guys. I'll catch
Later,
up
man.
with y'all next week. I'll catch up with y'all next week from the Coliseum for week 3 picks.
Awesome.
Later, bro.
All right, sounds good, bro.
All right, y'all.
Sounds good.
All right.
Later, y'all.
Later,
Later.
bud. That was awesome, man.
That was great.
That was awesome. And it was right on cue, too.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
Right on cue.
And thank you again, William, for participating in our week 2 prediction battles, dude. And the Senators one killed me. I love it.
Oh, absolutely. That was awesome, man. And anytime Hijacker Mike used to join us, it's always a treat. He's a very busy man with 2 jobs, killing it. And of course he's helping out with both shows, Nation's Corner and the sports show. So the man keeps him so busy. So
He's busy. He's a busy man, and he knows what he's doing.
absolutely. And I think that about covers it for the week. We got through a lot of stuff. Do any of you guys have anything before we do our final thoughts?
I think I'm good.
Steven?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Final thoughts. Joey, you're up, bud.
Oh, you know what? Hang on. I had to restart my phone, so let me see if ESPN app will come up real quick. See if I
Oh,
can
yeah, that article. That's right.
get that article.
Yeah, I
let me
forgot
see.
about that.
Yep, here we go. Let me see. Just waiting on it to pull up real quick. Oh.
Gotta love the app.
Yeah, you gotta love technology nowadays. Here we go. Oh, finally. Okay, let's see. Oklahoma City has finalized plans to build a new downtown arena for the Thunder, the city announced Tuesday. The Thunder have committed to play in the new arena for at least 25 years, according to the city's news release. Let's see. The plan to construct the arena and the Thunder's commitment is conditional on the passage of a temporary 1-cent sales tax by Oklahoma City voters on December the 12th. The projected cost of the arena will be a minimum of $900 million.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money, man.
$900 million. Wow.
$900 million. Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Yes, it says, as of right now, the intent, this is going to be years down the road. The intent is for the arena to be open by the 2029-2030 NBA season.
That's way down the line. Ooh.
Way down the line. We're talking 5-6 years.
Yeah. Definitely. But outside of that, I think that's it from my end. I don't have anything. I know Steven doesn't have anything. Joey, why don't you go ahead and let's do our final thoughts so we can wrap up and watch some NXT.
Yep. But as always, a great show with you gentlemen here. It was awesome having Hijacker Mike being a part of our week 2 predictions. Looking forward to watching another weekend of football. But of course, Saturday, probably won't get to watch a whole lot of college football because I will be participating in a kickball tournament throughout the day.
Nice.
So we'll try to get as much football in as I can on Saturday. But what I don't watch on Saturday, I will be more than happy to make up for on Sunday. So enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the football that's coming on. Enjoy the other sports. And as always, one last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Steven, you know how to do it, brother.
Great show with you guys. And again, shout outs to our boy Hijacker Mike coming on tonight to give his predictions for week 2 in the NFL. And again, folks, hashtag sell the team. Sell the team. Hashtag Fisher out. Hashtag Vegas beware. Hashtag rooted in Oakland. And also great having William in the chat giving his predictions and all that fun stuff. And enjoy the football this week and another week of football. And folks, this season, it will fly by fast. It's just getting started. And kick it off with the Vikings and the Eagles this Thursday. And who knows what's going to happen this weekend. We may have some shocking upsets. Who knows? But thank you guys for joining us tonight. And for those that will watch this on demand, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at ON_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, where we are live on YouTube on Tuesday nights, YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video and all of our videos to your family and to your friends that love sports. And we love coming on here and doing this show. And can't wait to have Kevin on the show next week. And we're praying for you, dude, and your family. And what you guys have been going through, man. I know it's tough, but you guys will get through it. And looking forward to having Kevin back on the show. And also don't forget to follow The Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it is at The Nation's Corner. And don't forget to check out The Nation's Corner crew this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time as they break down the world of professional wrestling. And they will probably be talking about the merge of the UFC and the WWE under their new company, TKO. And with that being said, Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Steven. What a great show this was. Thank you to Hijacker Mike for joining us this week, coming in with some great picks. And, of course, William Gyron, once again, thank you, buddy. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. And thank you for participating in our picks as well. Everybody who watched this video live, anybody who watches this on demand, we thank you for your support. like, subscribe, and share with your friends, your family who loves sports, who loves just being entertained, who loves having a good time, because that's what we're here for. We're here to have a good time, BS, but also to talk some sports and make some serious picks on these games, man, because we love football just as much as everybody else, and we can't wait for the new slate of games this Thursday. Of course, got to give a couple plugs real quick to some wrestling real quick this week. Of course, tonight, like I said, NXT, the main event, Tiffany Stratton, Becky Lynch for the NXT women's title. Also want to plug again, Mission Pro Wrestling presents Thriller, coming up October 21st on Title Match Network, which you can subscribe to only $9.99 a month. Also, don't forget, also on that show, Izzy Moreno versus Maya World, Tiffany Nieves versus Christina Marie, JP Harlow versus Black Swan in the Open Casket Challenge. It just an overall amazing card. Check it out as the card begins to be announced week by week until next week when the show is live on there. And if you're in Texas, please go to the show. Tickets are available at missionprowrestling.com. Also, real quick, I also want to quickly mention here, coming up soon here, if you're a New Japan fan like me and my friend Neil are, World Tag League, Super Junior Tag League will be coming up. Announcements on who will be in should be coming up within the next couple of weeks while the Destruction Tour rolls on. So NJPW1972.com for more info. And if you're in the Chicago area, AAW has a show coming up at Joe's Bar on Weed Street, coming up on September 29th, called The Chaos Theory. Already featuring some great talent, including a possible appearance by John Moxley. So check that out, aawpro.com. Now, enough of the plugs. Let's get out of here. So, for Kevin Rory, for Big Stevie Wyand, for Joey Thornton, and for Randy Gyron, and for everybody watching at home, we thank you. My name is Ezra Vickery. We will see you right here next week with another great edition of our nation's sports show. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sports, and we will see you next Tuesday. Peace out, everybody.